What's up, everybody? My name is Dalton-CSP, and welcome to my video about Pride Month, nearly a month late. Yeah, it's been, I honestly don't have an excuse, I just kind of forgot. But, I did watch a couple of videos about Pride Month yesterday, and I decided, hey, why not actually make a video like that, like I was supposed to this month? So, I went out, I got a rainbow party hat, and, let's talk about stuff. So, there was something that I wanted to get off my chest. And, let me be clear. I'm not doing this to, bash anybody. I'm not doing this to, tell anybody they're bad or tell anybody they're good. I'm just doing this purely to state my opinion. You guys can state your opinions. In America, we all have the freedom to state our opinions, and this one is mine. As a person who supports LGBT rights as a bisexual person, it is very frustrating what led me to make this video. As you all know, I am still in high school. I am a junior this year, and I'm going to be 17 in October, and I don't think I could go my entire YouTube career without ever bringing up this story. And it happened very recently as well. The school year was winding down, and we were just getting into the month of June. And I, for one, was pretty excited. I had just realized, I just learned what month was Pride Month, and it was June, and that was great. But the school that I go to, which is very known for having very Christian values, very Christian belief systems, was actually letting the students put up some decorations in honor of Pride Month. And I thought that was great. I thought, yeah, it's cool that the school finally is letting some students like talk about Pride Month, because I know that I have friends who are in the LGBT community as well, and anytime they tried to like show affection toward their significant other or like do anything of the sort, a teacher or a principal would get onto them, and a straight couple would be on the other side of the room right next to a teacher doing the exact same thing, and they would do nothing. So now it was finally good for this school to be open about these sorts of things, to be like, yeah, you can do that, and that was completely fine. There were very, very well done posters being put up all around the school, and I really liked them. I think they had a lot of effort put into them. I think they were good for expressing the community, and I have nothing but love for the people who made them. And it was all good until 2 days later. I was walking down the hallway where most of the posters were, going to one of my classes, my algebra class, and I saw that somebody had torn down the posters that they had made and replaced them with straight Pride posters. And I will admit that I was kind of mad. I was livid. I was mad for the rest of that day, in fact. And the people who made the posters were mad too, not only because it was clearly an insult to them, because not only were they tearing down LGBT posters and replacing them with straight Pride posters, straight Pride, but also because they had worked hard on those posters, and to see them just torn up and thrown away where nobody would find them and replaced by these, it was frustrating. And I remember walking through the hall. I had told my teacher I was going to go to the bathroom, and I was walking through the hall, and I tore down one of the posters out of anger. But after thinking about it for a bit, I realized I may have been a little bit too mad. Now, let me say this, just to get it out of the way. If you are a supporter of straight pride, great. Great, God love you. Pride Month is all about that. Pride Month is about being proud of who you are. But here's why some people take offense when it comes to things like straight pride. To bring up an example that's sort of like it, Meninism. If you don't know what Meninism is, it's basically the opposite of feminism. And it's also a joke. Like, it was literally created as a joke. Like, a bunch of people got together and they were like, well, feminists can do all of these things and act like crazy people and they get away with it, so we should make our own thing like that. And thus, Meninism was born. But the straight pride people, if you want to be proud of being straight, if you want to say, hey, I'm proud of who I am and that so happens to be straight, that's great. The problem is, straight people say that the LGBT people exclude themselves from the rest of the world by doing their LGBT thing. The reason why the LGBT community exists was because for the longest time, the LGBT were excluded. My God. Some states, I think, for a while, had laws where cops could arrest or, let's face it, beat you if you showed any outward displays of homosexuality in public. It could be considered a form of public indecency. Can you guys see me? I think I need to fix this light. Hold on. Is that better? Do I need to turn? I'm sorry. Anyway. But the reason why Pride Month exists is because it's almost like the same thing as Black History Month. Not that I'm comparing the plight of LGBT to black people. Black people went through a lot worse things than LGBT people did. But I'm saying it's the same kind of core factors of segregation, of discrimination, of prejudice, beatings, shootings, public displays of racism and homophobia, all of that. All of that is why Pride Month exists, because it's a month where a lot of LGBT people can come together and be proud of who they are without the threat of that. And I'll say one thing. I'm pretty democratic, but I'm proud of Donald Trump for putting some of his Republican beliefs aside and saying that he would help the LGBT community. Did he mean it? I don't know. I don't follow politics that much. But what I do follow, I definitely am proud of him for saying that. Just going on TV and saying it. Because you can get a lot of flack for that. Especially in the South. And I guarantee by making this video, I'm going to get a lot of negativity. Because I live in the South. And a lot of people in the South don't like any displays of homosexuality. Segueing that, let's talk about that whole Arthur thing that kind of happened. For those of you who don't know and didn't have any single semblance of a childhood, if you don't remember Arthur is an ongoing show on the PBS Kids network about a cartoon aardvark and his friends just having lives. I don't really know the plot of the show. I don't think there is a plot. It's a PBS Kids show. I don't expect it to have a plot. Except Cyber Chase. Cyber Chase had a pretty good plot. Is Cyber Chase still going? Did they, end that, or is it, still going? I don't know. Anyway, but recently Arthur had an episode that I think at the end, for like 6 to 20 seconds, I don't remember the exact timestamps, I didn't see the episode, I didn't know it existed until recently, they had a homosexual wedding for Mr. Ratburn. And a lot of people got mad about it. And the state of Alabama even banned showings of the episode on their network. They would not allow it. And that irritated me, because I was like, why did you need to do that? I think that's always the case with me in these kinds of things. It's just like, why did you need to? Like, did you have to? Like, you now understand the things you're going to get, like the amount of crap that you're going to get. And boy, howdy, did they get a lot of it. But to bring up some of the points that were made against it, it's like, kids shouldn't be exposed to gayness. From what I hear, the episode wasn't even pushing anything gay. It was just pushing acceptance and tolerance. It was just a normal episode of Arthur that just so happened to have a gay wedding at the end. And I think it was teaching tolerance and normality, that we shouldn't make a big deal of things like that. We shouldn't make a big deal of people we know being gay. It's like, hey, I'm gay. Oh, cool. That should be it. Like, I definitely think you should take emotional stock, because it does take a lot to come out as gay, but you shouldn't make like a big thing out of it, like, oh, you're gay, like, don't do this or that or anything. It's just like, no, just accept them, be normal about it. And I think the producers of Arthur handled it very well. Like I said, that's coming from me, like, never seeing the episode and only going on other people's opinions about it. Apparently it made a lot of people mad. But anyway, is it hard to take me seriously talking about this stuff with a rainbow party hat on my head? I've just kind of noticed it now. I've been, like, talking about very heavy, kind of serious topics, and I have a rainbow birthday party hat on my head. I'm sorry, but anyway, where was I? I went on that whole tangent about Arthur, and I can't remember where I was. Straight pride. Okay, so straight pride. I just want people to know that despite the name of it, there is a place for straight people in the LGBT community. In case you've heard of LGBTQ+, somewhere in that plus, there is a category for straight people. Straight ally. And it is a person who represents straight people who support gay people. I think one good example of a straight ally is, the teacher at the school who let those kids do that. It was a person who believed the things that they believed, who was straight, who supported these LGBT students enough that she let them hang up those posters. And it was great. But the thing about the whole straight pride situation, what I'm saying is that what they did by taking down those posters and by replacing them with the Bible verses and with the straight pride flag, they didn't have to do that. If they wanted to be represented, they could have went to the artists and said, hey, could you, add something to the posters for allies? And I'm sure they would have agreed. They would have been like, yeah, allies have their place in the LGBT community. So sure, we'll put that up. But they didn't. They tore down the posters, and they put up straight pride posters. One of them even saying the words, "great means straight." I want you to understand how, in my eyes, that kind of looks like a mockery, and how it looked like they were intentionally trying to, like, oh yeah, this is a thing. Hey, we live in a place that doesn't exactly like gay people. Maybe we should do this. I want you to understand how this kind of registers as an insult. I'm not personally offended. People in my county do stupid things all the time. It's literally become a meme. Like, everybody at my school is aware of the meme of, like, oh, well, it's Campbell County. Crazy crap happens all the time. I don't know what this strand of hair is doing. Anyway. But it comes to a point where stupidity and ignorance cannot go unsaid. It comes to the point where you have to look at what people are doing and say, okay, yeah, this is a bit far. What these people did by tearing down those posters was not only violating their freedom of expression, but it was also basically spitting in the face of the people who worked hard on those posters, and spitting on the community they are involved in. And spitting on the school, who up until that point was progressive, and now they're framing the school as somebody who goes back on their word. Because it's like, those kids got permission to put up their posters. Did the other kids get permission to tear down the posters and put them up? I later learned from the people who made the posters, they went to the teachers. The kids who tore them down did not have permission. And one of the kids who did it may be watching this video, and all I have to say is, why? Why did you have to do that? I mean, I get it. You want to be proud of who you are, and you want to feel included in the whole Pride Month thing. Trust me, I know what it feels like to be included. Or want to feel included. That's why I relate so hard to Dear Evan Hansen. But taking it to that much of an extreme is not okay. And I hope that you were caught, and I hope that you were made to apologize. And this isn't me being an SJW or anything. Let me be clear. I'm not an SJW. This situation just personally ticked me off. And I'm just calling it for what I see it as. And that is blatant homophobia. And if it wasn't made to be homophobic, and you're watching this video and you did it, and you weren't trying to be homophobic, please clarify. Clarify in the comments below. I would love to make a redaction video for this. I would love to say, hey, I was wrong. But if I'm not wrong, then that's worse. Me saying this and me being wrong, that's just a misunderstanding. But if I say this and I'm not wrong, and you did do that to blatantly be homophobic toward these people, or blatantly spit in the face of the hard work that these people did, that's worse than me being wrong. But anyway, I wanted to end this video on something positive. So, all I want to say is, if you're one of the people who watches my videos and you wanted to support things like Pride Month and the LGBT community, one charity that I would point you to is the Trevor Project. And they're not sponsoring me at all. I have 104 subscribers. You really think someone like the Trevor Project is gonna promote me? No. But the Trevor Project helps with crisis relief, and they help people in the LGBT community, like LGBT people who get thrown out of their houses because of who they are, and people who get like beat up in the streets for it. They help people like that. And I think if you wanted to support them, the LGBT, go support the Trevor Project. And also, if you're one of the straight pride people and you want to clarify to me that you don't act like this and that you do support gay people and you just want to feel included, I get that. You don't need to clarify. You can if you want, but you don't need to. Like, I get that not all straight pride people are like that. It's like the whole Black Lives Matter thing. And this video is going in a direction that I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh God, no, Dalton, don't do this. But yeah, I'm going to talk about it. I'm not going to talk about what you think I'm going to talk about, though. If you search around, you'll find some people who talk about a certain situation that some Black Lives Matter activists were involved in. And it was a debate regarding those people saying that white life is wrong and that white people should kill themselves. And they were doing it under the guise of being for Black Lives Matter. That's what I'm talking about. I know that Black Lives Matter is a good cause. I know it was started to, like, help bring awareness to police brutality and help, like end the police brutality and end the subjugation, prejudice. What is the word? But anyway, it was helping stop the abuse of the black community. That is a beautiful cause. But these people like Ghazi, or Black Hitler as he's called, people like the people on this college campus, people like, there was another and I can't remember his name, but anyway, they are saying not that Black Lives Matter. It turned from Black Lives Matter to your life doesn't matter. And that is what I cannot stand. Like, they may have reasons for it, and I'd love to know those reasons, but honestly, I'm not going to justify that blatant racism with that. And it is not reverse racism. It is blatant racism. And it's just like the straight pride. Straight pride could have started as something that was like, yeah, we wanted to feel included and we wanted to be proud of who we are too. But in the very instance that I'm talking about, it turned into straight people are the best. It turned into exactly what the country used to be regarding gay people. And that is stupid to me. I think this is the angriest I've ever gotten in a video. Oh God. But what I'm trying to say is, if you aren't like these people, don't consider yourself a straight pride activist then. You have a choice. You can be an ally, or you can be like these people. And if you want to have your own flag and you want to be in the LGBT community, that's fine. You can be proud of who you are. That's what Pride Month is about. But actually, I'm not going to end it here. One last argument that I've heard people make against Pride Month is the veterans. The veterans only get like 2 to 4 days out of the year to be appreciated. Why do the gay people get an entire month? Little known fact, 1 month before Pride Month is Veteran Appreciation Month. And where I got that information is a Google search done by YouTuber Mac Does It, or Machiavelli on Twitter. Please follow him. He's great. He's hilarious. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is, you can be proud of who you are. I love if you're proud of who you are. You can be straight, you can be gay, you can be bi, you can be trans, you can be lesbian, you can be agender, you can be all of these things, and I will accept you. And if I accidentally do something that ticks you off, it's either because A, I'm trying to adjust, or B, because I make mistakes. Okay, I'm human. I got involved in a situation recently where somebody was spreading rumors about me being transphobic, and that almost got me suspended and expelled. Because this person was going to the principals and going to the teachers and going to every one of my friends and saying that I was transphobic. And I'm not. But this particular person was throwing new information at me every single week, and I was forgetting. They weren't giving me enough time to process the changes, and I was forgetting. And I kept screwing up, and eventually they just went like, you know what, let's just get him expelled. You can be proud of who you are, and I will accept you. And if I ever screw up, it's because I'm trying to adjust. If I've known you for a while and I'm struggling to call you what you need to be called and adjust to the things you've told me, it is because I am just doing that. I am adjusting. Eventually, I will get it right. Just give me some time and have some patience, please. What I'm saying is, you can be proud of who you are. And I will love if you're proud of who you are. But don't let that pride consume you to the point where you act like this. Don't let your pride consume you to the point where you can do things like this that are openly spitting in the face of other people being proud of who they are and thinking that it's justified because, oh, you're just doing the same thing as them. I know this was a very heavy and a very serious video, and I apologize. I didn't mean for it to get this kind of serious. I just wanted to make a video about Pride Month and kind of get everything that's happened recently off my chest. And I also wanted an excuse to wear a party hat. And I didn't mean for it to get as angry as I did. It's just like, this is unscripted. So I'm just kind of like playing off whatever emotions I'm feeling at the second. So, there we go. I just want you guys to know this did take a while because I was thinking about it a lot. And I was scared to make this video because of the things that I wanted to say. And I know I will probably get a lot of flack for this. And if I do, then so be that. But if you're accepting and if you understand where I'm coming from in all of this, then great. And if you don't understand, that's fine. You don't have to. This isn't the focus of my entire channel. Some channels it is, and those channels are pretty entertaining. But this was just a thing for Pride Month because I wanted to say something. And I feel like if I didn't say something, then what was the point at all? So, thank you guys. I hope you all had a great Pride Month. And I hope you all have a great rest of your day. From the CSP, I'm signing off.